Hello, and welcome back to BlueHat CyberSec Academy. In this video, we will explore further topics from Domain 2 of the Certified in Cybersecurity exam, which is about incident response, business continuity, and disaster recovery concepts. This video isn't just for exam preparation. It's also perfect for anyone interested in building a strong foundation in the world of cybersecurity. We are going to discuss the following in this lesson. Number 1, the goal of disaster recovery. Number 2, disaster recovery in the real world with examples. And finally, we will talk about components of a disaster recovery plan. Make sure to watch till the end because these topics are the foundations of cybersecurity. If you haven't already, subscribe to BlueHat CyberSec Academy. Your path to becoming a cybersecurity professional starts right here. Let's first talk, what are the goals of disaster recovery? Disaster recovery planning steps in where business continuity, or BC, leaves off. When a disaster strikes or an interruption of business activities occurs, the disaster recovery plan, or DRP, guides the actions of emergency response personnel until the end goal is reached, which is to see the business restored to full, last known reliable operations. Disaster recovery refers specifically to restoring the information technology and communication services and systems needed by an organization, both during the period of disruption caused by any event and during restoration of normal services. The recovery of a business function may be done independently of the recovery of IT and communication services. However, the recovery of IT is often crucial to the recovery and sustainment of business operations. Whereas business continuity planning is about maintaining critical business functions, disaster recovery planning is about restoring IT and communications back to full operations after a disruption. Disaster recovery in the real world is, honestly, a critical topic. It is vital to ensure that an organization's critical systems are formally identified and have backups that are regularly tested. Sometimes, an incident is not recognized or detected until days or even months later. For example, at a hospital in Los Angeles, it actually took 260 days, so about 8.5 months, to discover that there was a compromise. In this case, the hospital couldn't return to doing business by using the last backup, because it was riddled with a time-based malware that would corrupt all the data on the system as soon as it was restored. The hospital needed to go back nearly a year prior to discovering the incident to restore the entire system and then restore the remaining data piece by piece to avoid reinfection. This scenario really highlights the need for multiple levels of backup and retention periods to address the needs of the organization. Complex systems can often store valuable information across several servers. While at its most basic level, disaster recovery plans include backing up data at a server level, it is also necessary to consider the database itself, as well as any dependencies on other systems. In this more complex scenario, data is entered by users into one system and database and is then distributed to other systems. This is pretty common in large enterprises, where multiple systems need to talk to each other to maintain common data. In another hospital example, the radiology department used a different system than the laboratory. In this case, a separate routine copied the patient data from the registration system to the laboratory and the radiology systems, which technically use separate databases. It is important to understand the flow of data and the intricate dependencies of one system on another, to properly document and implement a disaster recovery plan that will be successful when it is needed. When it comes to the components of a disaster recovery plan, well, depending on the size of the organization and the number of people involved in the DRP effort, organizations often maintain multiple types of plan documents intended for different audiences. The following list includes various types of documents worth considering: an executive summary providing a high-level overview of the plan, department-specific plans, technical guides for IT personnel responsible for implementing and maintaining critical backup systems, and full copies of the plan for critical disaster recovery team members. There are also checklists for certain individuals. Critical disaster recovery team members will have checklists to help guide their actions amid the chaotic atmosphere of a disaster. IT personnel will have technical guides helping them get the alternate sites up and running. Managers and public relations personnel will have simple-to-follow, high-level documents to help them communicate the issue accurately without requiring input from team members who are busy working on the recovery. That's it for now. This is actually the last video of Domain 2 topics included in Certified in Cybersecurity, or CC, exam by ISC Square. We will start discussing Domain 3, which is all about access control concepts. Keep the learning going by checking out the next video. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BlueHat CyberSec Academy.